Someone told me the end game is over 3 hours long.
Yeah, Forrest told me that too.
I'm so excited.
Oh my god. I was more of like, oh god. I'm reading my knitting.
I was ecstatic when I heard that. I'm like, yes, give me a day's worth of content for this. I'm ready.
Oh dear. Yeah, I was just like, man, this is like Return of the King level right here. Like, I was just like, okay. As long as there's plenty of
popcorn.
Yeah, plenty of popcorn and plenty of. I was gonna say like
all the
listen, all the characters I like are dead right now, so. Like,
they'll come back. They're not going to be out for long.
I think Iron Man's kind of the only one I'm like, hey, but I'm like also like Iron Man, I'm done.
I think they're not. I would be disappointed if they keep everybody dead the whole movie and only brought them back at the last second. Yeah. Like, I anticipate they'll come back at least halfway through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. Like, I think it's just going to be kind of the first part is like, oh, the original Avengers saves the day, and then they're like, we got to get the rest of them back to defeat this guy.
Yeah.
Or Captain America's just going to do his own thing where he's like, I'm going to save the day, and everyone just sit over here. I'm best.
I'm not listening to your Captain America hate.
You're listening to Almost Sisters, a podcast where two almost sisters discuss their weekly interests. It's the same thing they've been doing for years, but now they're in front of a microphone, and they're editing it, and posting it with an audience. This is going to be trickier than they thought.
Video games are one of the best things, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Only second to reading. In my personal opinion,
wow.
I think that they're even better than like movies and TV shows.
Wow.
Yeah, because there's so much story. Like there's so many story possibilities. But at the same time, it's me. I am the story. You know, when you're watching a TV show or movie, it's like they're the story. Video game, I'm the story.
I'm the star.
I'm the star.
Everybody, move out of the way.
Yeah. Everyone talk to me, look at me, want to romance me, I don't know.
Some interesting games you're playing there.
You know, I think my favorite games are games that I have other characters kiss my character. Now kiss. It's I want to say that that's not true. But it totally is.
Hey, there ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Hey, you know, you're playing a game, you're living your whatever.
Romance stories are hard to do.
Yeah.
So if they can do them right and not make them, especially when a player is involved, and like not make them cringy. Yeah. More props to you.
Dude, I need to show you some games. Even if you don't play them, you need to like watch these scenes. Like there's when I first started dating Forrest, I was playing this game called Dragon Age Inquisition, which is top tier favorite game.
Paige loves Dragon Age Inquisition.
Me and Paige need to be best friends because that's the best game. And so there's this character in the game. His name is Cullen, and there's when you're a female, there's like 4 different people you can romance. But his name is Cullen, and it's like if you're a mage, then he's kind of like, you know, he's like the forbidden fruit because he is a Templar, and you have no idea what I'm talking about, but it's steamy.
That look you gave me when you said steamy.
So, yeah. So, that's all I'll say about that, because I don't want to give you any spoilers. You might not even choose Cullen, but I bet you will.
Is this a game that I have to play, or can I just go, like, watch his timeline?
You can totally just watch his timeline. It's even better because there's 2 games before Dragon Age Inquisition, and he shows up in both of them. But it's, like, very minor. Like, he's major in the 3rd one, but minor. So it's great just seeing, like, him throughout the game.
Just, like, seeing him in the background, and you're like, dude. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because, like, if you choose, in the first game, you can choose to be either a mage, a fighter, or a ranger. And if you choose to be a mage, then you see him in, like, your origin story or whatever, and you get to flirt with him, and he gets real freaked out by it. He's, like, really young at this point. He's like, and he kind of, like, runs away, and it's so cute.
I think you've got a crush on this video game character.
The thing is, okay, so I was dating Forrest at the time when I was playing through this game. And he was like, hey, what are you doing? I was like, I'm just hanging out with my boyfriend. He's like, oh, I was like, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about Colin. And he's like, okay.
I don't really know how to take that.
And he's like, right, well, just don't leave me for him, I suppose. We'll be okay.
You're like, he's trapped in a video game, it'll be fine.
Yeah, he's always
If he wasn't, though.
If he wasn't. So today we're talking about video games, and
in case you didn't get that.
You didn't get that. Or you didn't read the title, you just clicked on a random video.
Which props to you if you did that.
Dude, if you did that, what's wrong with you?
I'm sorry you ended up here.
I'm so sorry. But Emily, what's your take on video games? Do you like playing video games?
I love video games. I am not as frequent a player, mainly because I don't have the game systems for it.
Oh, yeah.
But when I do play video games, I'll like get into a phase where I'm just like a couple months, I'm just like, video games. That's my only form of entertainment.
Yeah.
And then sometimes if I'm not playing, I'll watch. I watch a lot of video games on YouTube. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, it is. I just recently watched, okay, so Forrest and I have realized that I should make a gamer channel called Slowpoke Gamer, because I am just like, I am so late in the game for all these video games. But I just recently by last week, watched Five Nights at Freddy gameplay.
For the first time?
Wow.
Wow.
That was hilarious, because I was like watching these two guys play. There's this one part where the guy gets scared so much that like it goes dark for a second, comes back, and then you see him like in the corner of the room because he got scared so bad.
Wait, was that Michael and Gavin?
Yes. Yeah. That was
so funny. So good.
They're like, They're just really great. So I didn't have to even play that game, because the thing is, do not like scary games. I do not like things coming at me, so I like to watch. I like to watch people play them. So.
Well, see, the beauty about watching video games, especially on YouTube, is that for horror games, people now put jump scare spoilers like in the comments. So if like you want to be ready for stuff and not get scared, you can go seek out the time codes and then be like ready for it.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
Yeah, because I do not like. The thing is, I love the stories and like the scary games, but no, I am not happy when I'm scared.
Yeah, no.
I don't know why people are happy when they're scared, because it's like, no, I'm scared. I'm very vulnerable right now. Yes. I don't like it.
Yes.
So yeah, I like being able to kind of laugh at someone that's getting scared, and then
not be scared myself.
Not be scared myself.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Because I will not play horror games. It's hard to even watch horror games, but like scary games, it's fun to watch other people do it.
Like me and Forrest are gonna be playing. He's gonna be playing Last of Us, because I really want to know about that story. I know, because I played like the first like 10 minutes of it, like once you actually get into the gameplay, and I was like, "What's happening? Help me!" So like it was scary. But what are your favorite games to play?
My favorite games are ones that are. I'm trying to think of how to describe them. Just that. See, I don't know what the genre of them is called, because I thought they were called social games, but you play them by yourself, so that doesn't make any sense.
So, like, what's...
I like games like Animal Crossing, Harvest Moon, Sims.
Yeah.
Like, stuff like that.
Creating games.
Yes, creating games. Or games that are just like... just collecting things.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are my favorite kind of games. To play, not to watch.
Yeah. I think for those games that it's definitely much more fun to be like
Minecraft.
I
love
yes.
Minecraft.
That's good. Yeah. So yeah, you like games that you can like kind of interact with the whole world around you, but then also kind of like build up from nothing and kind of be able to. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. My favorite games are role-playing games, in the sense that like how I said in the beginning, where you can interact with the characters, and you can really you can develop friendships and enemies and things like that. So like games like Mass Effect and Dragon Age and Knights of the Old Republic, where it's like everything that you choose to do. And I think there's like these like Walking Dead games and other things like that, where it's like if you make a different decision, then like the person's like, I'll remember that or whatever. And so I really like to where the decisions I make in a game affect the characters around me. Like the first time I experienced this was with Knights of the Old Republic, which is a Star Wars game for anyone who doesn't know. And if you choose dark side versus light side, the dark side characters will be on your side. Or you can convince light side people to be on the dark side with you. So that was really neat. Like that was the first time I ever saw that in a video game, because before that it was kind of a lot of, you know, Mario and things like that, where it's just you're just running through, you're just doing exactly what you need to do.
Yeah.
But like just the little differences. We're playing the same game.
But the fact that you can change what happens based on the stuff you do, and not just like take Zelda, for example. We both love Zelda.
Yes.
But it's very much like there is a set story and you go through it and you play the story, which is all well fun and good. Yeah. Zelda's amazing. But those kind of games are very different in that, you know, you have different endings and different things happen based on the multiple paths that you take.
Yeah, exactly. And you can play the game, like, for instance, Dragon Age Inquisition. I've played that game so far 3 times, and I think there's like 8 other endings I could have. 8 other, like, basically stories, because I could choose, even just going from male to female makes it completely different, because there's different romance options and stuff like that. And so, you know, but then also, like, good versus evil, you know, with Mass Effect, like if you choose certain routes, certain things are going to happen. You can end up saving a bunch of people or killing a bunch of people, but then, you know, characters around you. So I like games where my choices matter. I think that's the thing. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So, what are you currently playing right now? Like, what's your go-to game right now?
I was just playing Animal Crossing New Leaf like a week ago. And then when I never have time, but if I have time, I really like playing Minecraft. So I think those are my two big ones that it's like, am I sitting at my desk? I'll play Minecraft. Am I laying in bed? Animal Crossing.
There you go. Yeah. I like that. You're 2 different positions. That's good. Yeah, I think for right now I just, again, I'm a slowpoke gamer, so I just started playing Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh my gosh, I love watching people play GTA 5.
Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. Yes. Like I'm running around, like Forrest will come home and I'm just on the couch and he's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm just running over a bunch of people. And he's like, okay, psycho. And no, he doesn't say that, but yeah, so it's a lot of fun doing that one, just kind of, and that one has a really great story that I didn't even realize. Like you start off that game and it's like this whole like heist is going on. You're like, oh, all right. I thought it was just a bunch of, you know, bad guys just running around and causing havoc. But this is actually like a story. And so playing that on PS4 right now. And then when I'm on my computer, I'm either playing Sims 4 because I got the $5 discount thing.
Heck yeah.
So I started playing Sims 4, which we need to talk about because
we do.
It's very different from
it
Sims
is.
3.
We have lots to talk about.
I'll just say I prefer Sims 3, but we will talk more about that.
We'll get there.
And then also on the computer, usually I play it on my laptop if I'm like watching something because it's kind of a mindless, I don't really have to think too much about it, and it's Stardew Valley.
I really want to play Stardew Valley.
Love it. I think you love Harvest Moon and Animal Crossing. I think it's Harvest Moon, but prettier with better music and better characters to interact with.
Yes.
So it's
That's everything I want.
Yeah. So it's really good. And I think the thing about it too is that, and they also have like a lot of objectives for you to do. So you like unlock this community center, and so you have to collect certain stuff, and so it encourages you to like expand your farm and your horizons and the game and everything like that. So it's a really great game, and it's really good to just, you know, I can leave it for 2 months and then come back to it, and it's just, you don't have to worry about story or anything else like that. So yeah, it's good. You should give it a go. That should be your next game purchase.
Yeah.
So
probably should be. Do you want to do a tangent about Sims real quick?
Yes, let's do a tangent
while
about
we're
Sims.
here.
Yes, while we're here. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I also have recently purchased Sims 4, and I've watched people play Sims 4, which I think I like watching people play it more than I do playing it.
My biggest
I like
thing.
Sims 3 better.
My biggest thing, besides being stuck on the home lot again. That's annoying.
Yeah.
So I'm like, where'd the town go? Also,
Yeah.
why are there only 3 really basic towns to choose from with like 5 buildings in them?
Mm-hmm.
But the most annoying thing is the different emotions and like needing to fulfill an aspiration by being like, it's like, stop being focused and get inspired because you need to finish doing this thing. Like, what are you doing? And it's like, I don't really understand exactly how that works, because it seems like, you know, there's furniture you can put in there that can like inspire you or whatever.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is like, okay, let me go get this rare piece of furniture, or let me go take like an inspiring shower. It's like, that's not how anything in the world works.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't understand. Like, and then like my character will be flirty, but then they go and they play with their children and they're still flirty for this whole time.
Yeah,
I'm
it's like,
what
this
are
is
you
weird.
doing?
Stop it.
Like, why is this even a thing? Because I remember like in Sims 3, and I've actually played it more recently than Sims 4, so I was like, take me back.
Yeah.
But it was, you know, you'd have the little talk box when they're like, it showed like the meter or whatever, and then it says, so-and-so's being flirty.
And you'd just be like, stop.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, why do you need more than that? Why do you need to affect the whole character's thing because then it's like all the different things that they want change, and it's like it's a constant like trying to keep up with your character, and it's super annoying. And yeah, there's just a lot of things in there that I don't particularly like, but mainly it's the I think as far as like overall, it's the town. It's the being stuck on the home lot.
It is very, you feel very stuck on your lot, and it's like you can't. In Sims 3, you were able to kind of like leave your Simby and go do something somewhere else to like maybe manufacture what's going to happen over here later. But you can't really do that in 4 unless you like completely switch households. But I remember, like, I haven't picked it up in a while either. I was thinking about getting on it like later this week, but I'm not sure if I will. I might end up playing 3. But like I started with a character, and it was just like, okay, I'm gonna start with a single character. I'm gonna sample a lot, and I'm gonna see how it goes, see if I can build it, expand it, you know, kind of do the generation thing.
Yeah.
Day 2, she burned her stove down, and she doesn't have enough money to replace it.
Oh my god.
So she's just eating snacks out of the fridge, and that's it. And so she's always hungry, and she's like always bored because she doesn't have fun things to eat. And I'm like, well, you shouldn't have burned your stove down. But like,
yeah. I think the only thing that I like better in Sims 4 is the character creation. I think I like how you can be very specific about the things that you're doing. And I think another thing, I mean, just overall, the graphics are better for the Sims. And so I like went back to my Sims 3 characters, and I'm like, oh, y'all are derpy looking.
Yes, I think that the character creation and exactly what you just said, character creation and graphics are much better. And like the game runs more smoothly.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Here's my argument about Sims 4, like why I don't immediately throw it out the window. Because I've heard people have these same arguments before, like, oh, they took away so much, and like, oh, the characters are so much more cartoony, and like, oh, you know, complaints like that.
Yeah.
You know, they took away a lot of features that were in Sims 3, and it's like, why did y'all go backwards? But I think their goal with Sims 4 was to make a Sims game that's more accessible to the general public and not necessarily a gamer. Whereas Sims 3 is for gamers. It's very complicated if you don't really know what you're doing or what to look for. And so, but it's also very like detailed and customizable, and you can do so much in it. It's like Photoshop versus Paint.
Yeah. Well,
like 4 is accessible to anybody.
Well, I was actually talking to one of my coworkers about this because I found out they played Sims, and I was like, I just started with Sims 4, and they're like, blah. And I was like, we talked about it, but I was like, it seems like a mobile game, and they're like, look, I have the Sims 4 mobile game, and it was the exact same thing, other than just like, you know, you don't collect all the little doohickeys or whatever, but like as far as like when events happen, there's that little like green circle that you can't just. Like, I was like, wait, why is this being timed? Like, usually in The Sims 3, it was just...
See, they're more, like, Sims 4 is more hand-holdy. It's like, okay, if you want to have a good result from this thing you just did, here's what you have to do. Whereas in Sims 3, it's like, all right, you've decided to do this.
Do your thing.
I hope you know what you're doing, because otherwise you're going to get bad results. And so it is, I think Sims 4 is much more hand-holdy for the player, which some people like.
I think that's the thing. I think for me, I like to be able to do as much as possible. Like, I think it's that, I'll have a household, and then I'm like, all right, they're going to, do a bunch of classes today. They're going to go to work. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. Oh, there's a unicorn over there. Going to grab that unicorn. Going to go to Paris now. Going to, But with The Sims 4, it's kind of like, well, I guess we're going to do some more painting. And I guess they're going to play some piano. That was cool. They added a piano. But, like, there wasn't any thing to explore. Like, I think that's the thing that I really love about The Sims 3 is that there's so much to explore, like so much to do in the town, but then also like with all the expansion packs, and I looked through the expansion packs. Force was like, you better not just buy all these expansion packs for Sims 4, and I looked at them and I was just like, no, like it's not worth the money. Even when it was half off, it's not worth the money compared to I already have all these. These expansion packs are half of what I have on The Sims 3. So
I remember in The Sims 3, it'd be like, okay, my Sim's taking a shower. I'm going to go hop over to the city and see what's going on, see if there's anything interesting there I want them to go do.
Yeah.
And so it's like, again, you could kind of leave your Sim alone and
track down a neighbor and be like,
where'd they go? I want to talk to them. I want to get them over here. But it's like, no, if your Sim is sitting there eating, you have to sit there and watch them until they're done before you can go do anything. Because like you have to take your Sim with you everywhere.
Yeah. It's annoying.
Yeah. I like Sims 3 better.
Sims 3 is better.
But Sims 4 has its merits.
It does. I think that if it was more open world and that's really it. Just being able to go around the town whenever I want. If it just had that, I would probably stick with that.
Here's an experiment that I want to do. Maybe I'll do it for a YouTube video, or we can both do it or something. I would love to compare high free will in Sims 3 and Sims 4 and see what the differences are. See what the Sims do differently. So I put an observatory in my Sims' backyard, and they always wanted to go to the observatory. I was like, what are you doing? You don't even like logics. What are you doing? You're an athlete. Stop it. I was like... It's like put them both in a very basic house and just kind of see what happens. Because I'm interested to know...
How quickly they die.
But also, like, if these moods that develop in The Sims 4, if they encourage different types of activity other than just taking care of themselves.
It's my favorite thing about playing The Sims right now, ever since I started living with Forrest, is having him look over my shoulder and just comment on what I'm doing. Because the thing is that most of the time, I have other characters that I play, but most of the time, I'm just playing as me and him. And so there's been times where I've, like, had us with, like, I just kind of let them go wild, and so then they had, like, 5 kids or whatever, and so it'd be like... So it'd be like, he'd be like looking over, I'd be like, I'm making my character do some writing or something like that. And he's like, what's going on with our son? He thinks he's a robot. It's whatever. And it's like, why is that character green? I was like, oh, that's our son's wife. She's an alien. It's fine. And we just like go on and on. And he's like, am I on fire? He's like, yeah, it's fine. The firehouse or the fire engine's on its way. It's okay. That we have a fire alarm. It's fine. You'll be okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff in The Sims that doesn't make sense to people that have never played it before.
Yeah. It's just so funny. Him just being so confused, but me just being like, oh, obviously it's normal. Yeah, that's how we play this game. Okay, so
have you seen? I think there's a meme out there that's like, people tell me that to make friends, I have to just go up and introduce myself. But that's not how it works. You have to get to know, then chat, then gossip, then chat some more, then get to know, ask about day, friendly hug, friendly admiration, and then you're best friends. And I'm like, yeah.
That's how you do it. Yeah. Or it's like, how to find someone to marry or whatever. Meet them. Give them a bunch of compliments, ask for a back rub, and kiss them, ask for their hand in marriage. Like, that's done. That's all you need to do. Okay. So, we talked about games that we like. Have you ever played any games that you, like, severely disliked or just were like, I'm never going to play that again?
Severely disliked. I mean, I will probably not ever play horror games. Give me a minute to think. Tell me about yours first.
Okay, so I think I think severely dislike was a bit.
But just
strong.
I'm not gonna play that.
Yeah,
game.
I'm not gonna play that game. I don't like 2D like puzzle games basically, where it's like it's linear and like you have to follow kind of a maze area, like basically kind of like Mario, but it's kind of usually they're like in places like there's Hollow Knight and Celeste, and there are a lot of indie games, and there's nothing wrong with them. I think they're very artistic and everything. It doesn't grab me as far as like story goes. Like they have story and stuff, but if I'm not like able to break free from this is the only kind of you have to go along this way and you can't go back because that's a start and you can't go forward until you figure out this puzzle. I like being able to just kind of run around and kind of do my own thing. So I think like 2D adventure games or puzzle games don't like, and then shooter games are also kind of boring. It depends on the game. If there's like a good story behind it, but like Call of Duty, unless I'm playing with a bunch of friends, I don't care. So so those are my two.
I haven't played a lot of these, and so I'm probably just because I think they're kind of boring. I don't really like point and click games.
Yeah.
So the only one that I can think of, and don't hate me because I know people love this game.
Okay.
But like the Nancy Drew games, where you're just like, you have a screen, and it's like, click on this door or this door. It's like, okay, I'm going to click on that one. It's like, okay, great. You can click on the desk, you can click on the other door, you can click on the window. And I'm like, this is boring.
Dude, I need you to play some Nancy Drew games.
I'm not saying Nancy Drew itself is boring, because I'm sure they're like, very...
It's a thrill ride.
But I'm saying that type of game.
Yeah, because it can be pretty slow. Especially like, I hate it when it's like, I'll like go through like click, 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 and I'm like, crap, I need to go this other place.
I missed one.
Click, 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 click,
Back
click,
up.
click, 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 yeah.
Yes.
So that is really annoying.
Yeah.
So I get that.
Yeah, like I said, not Nancy Drew specifically, because I'm sure they're very well written and the plots are good, but just that format of gaming I don't like.
I need you and the world to know that I'm seriously into Nancy Drew games. Every now and then I'm like, maybe like every couple of months or so, I'm like, ooh, I need to play Nancy Drew games.
You and my college roommate.
Yeah.
Yes, I know a lot of people that love Nancy Drew games, so...
They're pretty great. Even though it's like for tweens or whatever, I'm like, no, I need my Nancy Drew games. But like, I think the thing about it is, for me, is that it's a very quick game. I think that unless you struggle with puzzles, it's a very quick game. So it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's just fun just to be able to just like go through a story real quick.
Yeah. Point and click games, I'm not a huge fan of, but I think also I get frustrated with games that just aren't like this is gonna sound stupid, but like that are too difficult for their intended audience. Like, I think I was playing a Nintendo DS Zelda game, and it was like something wind something. It was like a pirate or something.
Wind Waker.
Yeah. I was playing that, and there were so many times in the first level that I got stuck, and it was just like, this is so stupid. And I'm just,
I never finished that one, because the thing about that one was, I don't know if you ever got to this, but once you get the weird king boat guy, you have to figure out where these islands are. And I would just be on the ocean, be like, where
are they?
The hell am I supposed to go? And I just gave up.
Yeah. like games like that game was way too difficult for what it was supposed to be. And so I think games like that, I've never played any of... I've seen some like game trailers for Dragon Age and for Mass Effect and Andromeda, I think. And those look interesting to me, but I've never played any of those before. So...
Don't play Andromeda.
Okay.
And if you want to know why, just look it up on the internet. Why not play Andromeda? Because everyone and their dog has written an article about why it's terrible. But really, it's just like the graphics are really crappy. The characters just look derpy.
Really?
Yeah, there was one clip that I saw where a character's boobs were like going pew, 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 pew. and the person who was like recording this was like, babe, do you want my boobs to do that? So
okay, so we'll stay away from that one.
But Mass Effect, I think if you played the first Mass Effect and then Dragon Age Inquisition, because the thing about the first Dragon Age is that it is anytime your character talks, there's just a huge like paragraph of possible answers. So you have to read through everything, then you click on it, and then your character doesn't say anything, and the other character responds. So I was used to that with KOTOR, but Knights of the Old Republic. But if someone were to do that now, they'd be like, "What is this? This is stupid." So I would suggest just to start with Inquisition, because you learn everything that you need to learn with that one.
I think there's a lot of games that I have an interest in playing. I just haven't played a lot of them because, again, I don't have any systems. And so that's probably why there's not a ton of games. I'm just like, oh, I hate that kind of game, just because I don't have a lot of experience with a bunch of different games.
Yeah, that happens. Yeah.
But besides Animal Crossing and Sims, there's never been a game that has, like, kept me for a long time.
I think the only game, and again, it's Dragon Age Inquisition, that it's kept me, I've logged so many hours playing that game. Because the thing is that, like, there's just so much to explore. There's so many, like mini quests and everything like that, like, also, I'm kind of a completionist, kind of. I say kind of because not for every game, only games that I really, really like. But when I really, really like it, I'm like, I gotta collect all the things, I gotta do all the missions, I gotta do all... So it's like, I have one save, my first game that I ever played is still not even done, but I'm like 96% of the way done, and I'm like, ooh, I gotta finish it, but I wanted to do another story. So I have, yeah.
You want to hear something sad? So, because I like games that don't really have an ending, there's only one game that I've ever finished.
Oh, yeah.
It was the first Jak and Daxter.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I remember.
And I didn't finish it until like after college, because I like played it when I was a kid, and then only got about halfway through, and then picked it back up when I was in college.
So you never finished any of the Zelda games? Man. Dude, those have some pretty good endings.
I know. But, okay, so the other day I was looking up the Zelda Twilight Princess bosses, because I just wanted to see how far I'd gotten.
Yeah.
And I got to the boss, like the last boss that I recognized, and I was only like a third of the way through the video I was watching, and I was like, oh my god, there is so much of this game left over.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I started playing it again a while back ago, and I was just like, because in my mind I was like, this is a short game, and then I got like 10 hours in, and I was like, I'm not even done with like the first two bosses. Like I was just like, I'm just, you know what? I don't have time for this.
We're going to talk about massive worlds.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
but
my
the
God.
thing is, that one is only like a 10th of what Breath of the Wild is. Breath of the Wild.
I want to play,
huge.
but I want to play Breath of the Wild so bad.
Oh my gosh, you need to get a Switch because there's so many games you love on there.
Okay, let me just do that real quick.
You need to get a Switch once it is economically accessible to you.
Okay.
I have a husband who already had it because he's a nerd, so...
No, I want to play Breath of the Wild so bad.
Yeah. I mean, if you ever just want to hang out and come play it, we'd love to have you.
Okay. Might take you up on that.
Okay. Next girls' night, we'll just play Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
But I think the first game... Oh, wait, I thought it was Shadow. I was like... I saw a waft out there a couple days ago, and I've been paranoid ever since. I'm just like, where is it? So, but the first game I ever finished was Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time.
Ah.
And I replayed that one recently because Forrest has it on DS. And so... I was like, ooh, I want to try out these new graphics and stuff. Like, you know, my Nintendo 64 is not in great shape, so it's kind of staticky anyways. And so I played through it, and the ending, just every time, it just gets you? It just gets me. I was just like, I was sitting there playing, just like, so it was a really good one. So I highly recommend you at some point finish those when you have the time, and I know you're super busy. So
yeah, one of these days. That's why I watch video games more than I play them, because I have more time to just, if I'm like eating, I can watch somebody play a video game.
Yeah.
If I'm like trying to go to sleep and watch it, I have more time to watch them than to play them, so that's why I end up doing that more often. Yeah,
because I mean you can do other things while you like I watched Forrest play several games while I've been like writing or doing something else in the living room, so
I can fold laundry.
Yeah,
I can like give Iggy a bath. I can do so many things while I'm watching.
Yeah. Because if you're playing, you have to be 100% into it.
Yes.
You're just like...
Need that hand-eye coordination. Yeah. So when I was in college, I was in a program called ATech for Arts and Technology.
Okay.
And half of the program was people doing animation for movies, and half of the program were people making video games. So I knew a lot of people in college that were making video games.
Oh, that's cool.
And that whole world is so giant. It's like, oh my gosh. Hard to imagine.
Yeah.
You know, because I saw a lot of student-made video games while I was in college, and not a lot of them were great. And so it was like everything that goes into making really good video games seems really hard.
Yeah, I mean, it always is remarkable to me when I see like for instance, Stardew Valley was made by one guy, and I'm just like, how did you manage to do that? Or like even just like a team of 3 or 4 people. Yeah. It's just there's so much that you have to think about, so many different things. But then you also have to just be artistic and technologically savvy and
a good writer.
Just there's so much that you have to be like.
But then it's like each of those 3 categories has like so many different things along with it.
Yeah, and so many things you have to just like be ready for and be like, okay, well if I do this, then that has to change or this or that. And it's just, I mean, that's why we have these video games coming out that have teams of people, but they still turn out kind of garbage. Yeah. Because there's just, especially nowadays with when they're trying to make people look lifelike and stuff too. But even just, we were playing Breath of the Wild, and he steps out the first kind of opening scene, and it shows all of Hyrule. And my first thought was just like, how did these people make this? Like, this is incredible, because it's just like everything is there. There's so many things like interacting with the world as it goes on. It's just, it's kind of mind-boggling. Yeah.
I was watching a GTA 5, they were just messing around in the world, and they were just kind of like experimenting with all the different stuff that they could do. And like some of the stuff that they came across, it's like, okay, somebody had to sit down and think about this very specific scenario and what would happen in that scenario. Like, what they were doing is there was a guy that had a parachute flying through the air, and there was a guy on a roof who was watching him through a sniper rifle just so he could record what he was doing. Yeah. And he was like, I wonder what happens if you like shoot somebody's parachute. And he did, and it like made the guy like, it affected the physics. The guy like did a right turn, and it was just like, okay, somebody had to come up with that exact scenario to determine and program that. And it's just like, oh my gosh.
It's so
the things
crazy.
you have to think about, especially when you're making an open world game like that.
Yeah, like I wouldn't even know where to begin. Like I could think about, the thing is like, even just as a writer, I'm like, writing a video game, that'd be kind of cool. But then no, like if it's like an RPG game, you have to have multiple possible answers for your character, and then multiple possible outcomes from the other characters, and then how that's going to affect other characters. And it's just like, you just have to know like this huge web of just like what's going on, and that's just for the writing. Yeah. So it's crazy. But you know, I think that anyone who's pursuing becoming a video game designer or artist or writer or whatever, I think that, you know, that's just such a cool like art form to go into. But Emily, we should talk about, if we were to create a video game, what would it be? Because I feel like if I really put my mind to it, I could if I had enough time to spend on it, I could create a pretty good dialogue set for an RPG. I just don't really know.
So you'd want to make an RPG?
I probably want to make an RPG, but like it doesn't have to necessarily be like the RPGs that I play, like where Mass Effect or fantasy or anything like that. It could be something like Animal Crossing. I almost said Animal Crossing. It could be something like Animal Crossing that you just collect a bunch of stuff, but then there's also like relationships you can build and stuff like that. So what do you think?
Well, as they say in writing and in everything, write about what you know. So the kind of games that I know, I think it would be really interesting. You see, I would be more interested in the artistic aspect of it, of being able to like design a world and a theme and look, because like take Animal Crossing for example, it has a very specific look and feel to it. And, you know, I think creating something like that would be super interesting. And so I think that's the kind of game that I would want to make, is maybe something similar to GTA that has, like, a main plot that you can follow, but then it's also very easy to deviate and do whatever the heck you want.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think open world, I want to take, like, Sims 3 with the character interactions of Dragon Age and, like, having a full I also like with Skyrim, like, I like being able to discover, like, this whole, like, background of story and everything else like that. I just want, like, normal people that I can fully create and meld. I can build their house, because I love building houses in Sims.
Yeah.
I'll just build houses for funsies.
Same.
Like,
oh my gosh.
I'll create a family. I'm like, what's their house gonna look like? Then once I put them in, I'm like, and I'm done.
Yep.
That's it. That's all I wanted to do. So yeah, like something that I could, like, have kind of a Sim-esque world, but then I can actually have the characters talk to each other. I think that'd be really cool.
Oh my gosh. Okay, you know what game I would love to just, like, take the bones of and turn it into something else? Get ready.
Okay.
Thrillville.
I've never heard of that, actually.
So Thrillville was a roller coaster making game.
Oh, okay. So, like, Roller Coaster Tycoon?
Yes.
Okay.
But, so the thing about Thrillville is that you were the park manager, and so you had, like, different things that you could do, including building roller coasters and unlocking different parks, but also you could, like, you know, work as a maintenance worker and maintain your park, but also talk to your guests. And so you could build friendships and, like, you know, develop kind of like a crew to go around with you, and then you could, like, go ride the roller coasters and play the games. And so it was like you had a main goal of, like, make the best theme park that you could, but there was all this other different stuff. And when you talked to your customers, you actually went through dialogue boxes and chose what you said, and that affected what they thought and how it affected your park. And so it was like, I would like to take that, but not have it relate to roller coasters, and have it relate to something else, some other kind of mission.
Like Zoo Tycoon.
But
No, but, like, think about it, though. If you're, like, on, like, the pavement with the people, and then you can look through the cages and be like, oh, there's a lion. I don't know. It sounded better in my head.
No, I mean, yes, but what I'm saying about Thrillville is that it also had that, like, dialogue aspect to it. So whereas in Zoo Tycoon, you can't really talk to anybody. It's just you and your animals.
Yeah, that's true.
So, you know, kind of taking, like you said, taking all these different elements and, like, mushing them together into something that you can work towards one common goal, but have to do all these different things to achieve that goal.
Yeah. Dude, I would love kind of to expand on, I think that kind of made me think of if we were to take kind of like a Sims world, but then it's just like, you're just, like, living your life. So, like, you go through this characters, like, and you have them talk to people and interact with them as they did in Thrillville and stuff like that. But, like, there's, like, maybe, like, you could, like, choose different scenarios. Like, oh, maybe there's, like, a secret in their family, or there's, like, they have a mysterious stranger. Kind of like maybe, like, D&D a little bit, where it's, like, a story unravels, but you're just, like, an average Joe, and you can build their house, and you can do, like, you can just do some cooking or whatever you want to do. But then, like, I don't know.
Like a choose-your-own-adventure game.
Yeah.
But, like, much more vast than... Yeah. And
also where I can make houses.
Well, you could, like, play as your character, then also play as the Overlord.
Yeah. That'd be really cool. So,
So, would you rather do a, like, realistic fiction type of game, or, like, a fantasy, sci-fi, adventure, horror type game?
I think that would be for the expansion packs. I think that I would want the base game to be just kind of like, you know, normal life kind of thing, but then, like, kind of like The Sims, where you can, like, become, like, a witch later on or something like that. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah. I think that'd be pretty interesting. Now I really want to play that game, but it doesn't exist, and I don't know how to make it. I just made myself sad.
Well, we'll develop it, come up with like some actual story and dialogue, then we'll take it somewhere and they'll make it for us.
That's a great idea. Be like, here, steal our idea and then give us the game for free. We won't ask for any compensation other than that.
No.
Just give me the free game.
Yes, I just don't want to pay $40 for it.
Yes.
Just let me have it.
And any expansion packs that come out, because you know you guys make more money off expansion packs than the actual game.
Yes.
That's why The Sims 4 is $5, people. Warning.
Because you can't do laundry otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. My sim wants to get a laundry machine, and I'm like, I don't have that expansion yet, little Jim. Like, I don't know. Like,
they've programmed their Sims to be like, dear creator, all I want for Christmas is an expansion pack. And
oh
it's
my
like,
gosh.
No, Timmy.
No, now you are set on fire.
I recently, not recently, probably a couple months ago, re-downloaded Zoo Tycoon.
Dude, I love Zoo Tycoon.
Me too.
I also have Roller Coaster Tycoon.
I've never played Roller Coaster Tycoon.
The thing about Roller Coaster Tycoon is it's super easy for your patrons to die. But I mean, also in Zoo Tycoon. I think any Tycoon
you like
game,
drop them in a Shark Tank accidentally and then they die.
There's this one roller coaster where if you just place it and you don't try to build any more on it, it's like a loop-de-loop and it like goes just straight up and they're supposed to come down. But if you set the miles per hour to like 90, they will just fly off that and just explode. It's the best.
See, this is our Sims play coming in.
Yes.
We're just like, these are digital characters. They don't feel pain.
They do not. And so then that's why you build a huge cage with a bunch of lions. And then you put one fence in front of the gate, or the main entrance gate, and then you just delete that pin and you just let them go wild. Everyone will die and it's great.
You can get all the notifications of like customer 1 is unhappy, customer 2 is unhappy, and you're like, yes, we unhappy. Oh, we need to play video games.
Dude, yeah. Do you want to talk about mobile games at all? Or do you want to talk about the kind of gamer, like, oh, you're not a true gamer if you don't do this or you don't do that kind of thing?
That is just annoying.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so the only thing that I have to say about mobile games, if we don't have enough to say, we can cut this out. But the only thing that I can say about mobile games is that there are some that I will probably never delete, but I don't play them very often.
Yeah. I'll go, ooh, this sounds interesting. And by the 10th ad I've seen in the first 5 minutes of playing the game, I'm like, and I'm done.
There's probably like 10 games that I like enough to keep on my phone that when I'm super bored, I'll go play them.
Yeah.
But I cannot tell you how many games I have downloaded, and within the first minute, I uninstall them.
Yeah. No, there's been so many too where I'll keep it for a little bit, but I'm like, maybe I'm just not in the mood right now, and then I'll like pick it up again. And I'm like, oh no, this is actually kind of terrible.
Yeah.
I think the only two games I've stuck with. Besides this one where like cats come and you feed them.
Nico Atame,
yes.
I love it. I love
That's not
it.
really a game. That's more of just like for like it's kind of like a cute little like picture thing or whatever.
I love that game.
It's really cute. Oh my gosh! But the two games that I've stuck with are Pokemon Go. Just
Same.
because like if I'm like at a movie theater and I'm like waiting for someone to get out of the bathroom, I'm like I bet this is the Pokestop, and it is. Yes. And then sometimes I'll go for walks and I'll just have my phone. I'm like, oh, what Pokemon? And then the second one was, ever since I deleted my Facebook, I can't get into it anymore, which boo-hoo, was the Hogwarts game, the Harry Potter.
You can't get into that anymore?
No, because I had it through my Facebook account, and so it went away. So
That's sad.
So, and I think that if I were to create another video game, it would be Harry Potter, but you're the student at the school, like the app, but not annoying like the app where you have to wait a bunch of hours and stuff. And you just play it.
That is what everybody wanted out of Pottermore.
Yes.
They thought it was going to be an RPG style Hogwarts game, and that's what everybody in the world wants.
That's all we want. Like, give us that and we'll be happy.
Give us Sims in Harry Potter world.
Yes.
That's all I want.
All I want.
You can have my money.
I want to live as a Ravenclaw.
Just let us let it happen.
And it needs to also be co-op, so I can also be friends with my my Hufflepuff friend Emily.
Yes. Oh my god. I don't think about the potential of this game happening, because it makes me sad every time I think about the fact that it doesn't exist.
It would be such a perfect game, though.
Yes.
Like, it would be, like, I don't know why they haven't,
I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense.
You would make, like, it would, like, they could do it like World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
But for Harry Potter.
Dude. Yes.
You would, have y'all ever seen Sword Art Online? You would take over the world if you made that game.
Like, it would be the best. All I want, like I said, all I want is to be a Ravenclaw. That's all I want in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I have a scarf. I'm ready.
Mm-hmm. Y'all have already dashed our hopes and dreams by not delivering our letters to us.
Yes.
Let us do it virtually.
Please. Oh my God.
I'm begging you.
If I got, like, even, ooh, you know what would be even better? That you sign up for the game, you put in your mailing address,
and they
mail you a letter.
And it's like, yes. Yes.
And then it's like, let me go get my books and my owl. I'll be there.
Oh my God. I'm sad every time I remember that this game doesn't exist.
And it's so sad because obviously that app has shown that it can be, you can create a whole new story around Hogwarts. It doesn't have to be, Hogwarts existed for like 1,000 years before Harry Potter, and it existed for years after too. Like, I don't understand why we're just sticking to those 7 years. Anyways. I think the thing that bothers me most about being someone who loves video games, I will never call myself a gamer because that has too much heat behind it from a lot of people. But the biggest thing I hate is when people say that video games are bad for kids. I think that they accuse it of violence or whatever they want to accuse it for that day, which, yes, you have to monitor the age. There's age requirements on games for a reason.
Yes.
You're not going to want your 10-year-old to play Red Dead Redemption where they just shoot a bunch of hookers in the, what's it called, the pub, or I don't know what they call it, the saloon. But you want to make sure that if they're kids, they're playing kid games.
Yes.
But the games themselves, if they're age appropriate, I think are really good for people. I think that it's, especially if it's puzzle games, or even if it's shooter games, but of course, again, age appropriate. Mm-hmm. It helps you with your hand-eye coordination. It helps you with, problem solving, teamwork, if you're doing multiplayer, things like that. So I think there's a lot of benefits to video games that people don't really talk about that often. Yeah,
I think there are a lot of benefits. And people, in our day, when we were kids, it was TV. Mm-hmm. TV's going to rot your brain. Yeah. Now, it's video games. Mm-hmm. But, everything in moderation. Yeah. I think that's a great way to put it. Yeah, you don't want to have your kid or even your husband playing 5 hours of video games a day, because then, it's kind of hard to, if you're spending the majority of your day playing video games, it's kind of hard to, switch gears and be a human again. Mm-hmm. But, I think that there's so many different types. There's some games, like, I feel like for Stardew Valley or for, like, Animal Crossing, where you're collecting and it's happy, everyone's positive. It's relaxing. Like, it's a good way to kind of unwind. It's good for anxiety. So, like, you're listening to soothing music and everyone's positive and you are reminded that there's good things in the world. Yes. And then if you are a creative type, but you don't have the materials, you can get in Minecraft or The Sims or wherever. Or if you want to have kind of a storybook-like experience, but aren't really, maybe you're dyslexic or you don't have a good attention span for books. You have great stories in video games like Skyrim and Dragon Age. Mm-hmm. I think that there's a lot more good to video games than bad. However, there is also Fortnite. My thing about Fortnite is, again, everything in moderation. Yeah. Like, I do think that, especially for the younger age group, it's kind of like Fortnite has they've just been like, give it. And it's like, this is all I'm doing now for the rest of forever. And it's like, no, there's good stuff in Fortnite. Again, there's teamwork and there's, it's a very creative game. You can learn your hand-eye coordination and it's fun, good entertainment, but like y'all go outside once in a while.
Yeah, I'm tired of children talking to me about Fortnite. That's my biggest thing with Fortnite. I don't have a problem with it as a game, but I was watching some videos about live streaming, and like just for an example, people are putting up their Fortnite gameplay, and I was just like, what is happening? Why is this lady killing people with a lollipop? And why are they building a bridge up to the sky only to jump off of it? What is going on? And so that's my thing with Fortnite. I don't understand it, and I don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of games that I don't understand, but that's, I don't play a lot of video games, so I can't say that.
Yeah, I think again, like Emily said, in moderation. If you play more than 2 hours of Fortnite, you're done. That's it. Stop it for the day. Go do something else. Even play a different video game. I don't care. I've heard too many kids crying over V-Bucks. That's all I have to say about it. I don't really know either. I just know it's like their currency or whatever. So
I didn't know you could make money in Fortnite.
It's like you pay them to get stuff. So it's like it's a freemium.
It's a play to. It's okay.
Yeah, a pay to play kind of
pay
thing.
to play.
Yeah.
So Caitlin, what is your weekly obsession?
Well, my weekly obsession is right on topic for this week. I actually discovered it yesterday, or today, possibly.
Oh.
Can't
remember what day it is.
I've watched 10 episodes of this, but it is, it's called Girlfriend Reviews, and it is a game review channel.
Okay.
In the perspective of like a girlfriend watching her boyfriend. And at first I was like, okay, that sounds kind of like stereotypical, like girls can't play video games, but it's hilarious. Like she's like, because she does play video games, but like not a lot of the like new stuff. I think she's kind of more like us, where we kind of like the more not simple, but like creative and stuff like that. She will play some games, but she's kind of bad at it. And so she talks about whenever her boyfriend plays one of the new games, she like gives her perspective on it, and she does a really great review on it. But it's super funny. Like she was talking about Super Smash Brothers, and in the new one, you can put a luchador costume on Pikachu.
Oh my god!
And that was like the first thing that she discovered. And Forrest turned to me and he was like, "That's the first thing that you did when you played Super Smash Bros." And I was like, "You're right." And she's talking about another game. I can't remember what it was, but she's like going through all these things that like she thought about when she played the game. And I was like, "Dude, that's exactly." I mean, I'll play these games, but like I don't know. It was like spot on for like a lot of things that I have the perspective on with my husband playing a bunch of new video games and stuff. So that's my weekly obsession, because I think I started watching them yesterday. The days are just blurring together.
I know what you mean.
So
they're on YouTube?
Yes, they're on YouTube. So Girlfriend Reviews on YouTube. She just started like 4 months ago, but already has like 2 million, or yeah, I think 2 million. It was like 1.8 million views or something like that. It's wild, but it's really good. So
that sounds interesting.
Yeah,
give it a watch.
Yeah, she also did a review on Star Wars: A New Hope, because it's like it seems like she like didn't get into any nerdy stuff before she started dating her boyfriend, because she only had seen Phantom Menace of Star Wars, and so she was like had a horrible perspective on Star Wars, and so she tried to do a complete recap of A New Hope from memory after I've seen it like a year ago, and it was hilarious. So you need to definitely check that one out. So Emily, what was your weekly obsession?
My weekly obsession was finishing up the Steven Universe series.
Okay, that's the curly haired boy. And yeah, okay, I've seen a couple episodes of that. Yeah,
I love that show.
It's really cute.
Yeah, I actually didn't realize it's not officially over.
Okay,
but the end of that season was pretty dang finale looking. There's rumors that they'll continue the season or continue the show, but there's rumors floating around about in what capacity they will continue it. Whether there will be a movie, which has probably most likely been canceled, or if they will continue the show but with different characters, or, nobody really knows what's going to happen next. All that they're saying is, like, there will be more coming, but we don't really know what it is. But I had not watched the most recent season until this week, and oh boy, there was a lot that happened, but it was all great.
That's good. So it wasn't like an emotional roller coaster like
Voltron?
Voltron, thank you. I almost said Vulpix, and I was like, that's a Pokemon.
I have Vulpix, man. I just keep tugging on my heartstrings. No, Voltron was emotionally draining. Mm-hmm. Steven Universe was not.
Okay.
It was a very pleasant show to watch, and I love it.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Makes me happy.
So you don't have anything you don't want to say anything about it because it could spoil something?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. That's what I kind of figured. So
yeah.
All right.
But go watch it. It's amazing.
Go watch it. Do it.
Do it. Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Kill him.
View it.
View it. Oh, that was good. Good job.
Thank you for listening to Almost Sisters. I'm Caitlin.
And I'm Emily.
You can follow me at authorcsloanlewis.com for my blog and c.sloanlewis on Instagram. You can follow Emily Painter on YouTube. Almost Sisters is a production of Blab and Scribble Studios. You can follow all our current and future projects by going to blabandscribble.wordpress.com. You can find links to all our stuff in the description box. Emily, should we do an outro?
No, not today.